I'm going live. I'm sat in the kitchen. Now, when this video's finished, I'm going to re-upload it when it's done because it'll be private. And I want you guys to watch it because I've not got, actual eligibility. So, I thought, in my creative thoughts, I thought I'd actually discuss the podcast because I'm doing a new episode, crumbs, of the podcast.
AI chatbot, writing bot pocket AI.
Now, Chris.
I'll turn this down a bit because we're talking here about just new things that's coming. So the Creative Thoughts podcast, as you probably know now, I thought maybe I was going to talk about the company because the agency now has 2 offices and 2 studios. Now, the second office will hopefully be where we can open a department, which will be a remote department, which is where we handle all the remote work. We've got the Stepping Stones group, which I don't want to talk too much about because there's been a little bit of politics. So at the Stepping Stones group, we can then get some of our freelancers to work in the Temperance Hall. And they can work for a lower rate, some of them depending on what they are. And obviously we're doing a lot of relationships and stuff like that. We're redesigning our new office where the studio is, so the studio and the office, which is where we work remotely. Because from here we've only got a small studio. So in the kitchen, which is like this table, this breakfast / reading table, we can only turn it into a small studio and do very small work. We can only do animation or drawing or photography. And we could do photography anywhere, but they're the only 3 things we can do, and digital stuff. So we can do digital stuff from here. But a lot of the work we do is digital anyways, but all the analog stuff, which is the posters, like all the actual artwork, the analog stuff, that goes in. That's work that needs sorting. That's work that needs that's work that needs doing. But there is a lot of work. And our studio space will have an office which will have all the remote work. And we're hoping to move Rosemary there on the weekends. And Adam, our producer. So the producer will be only coming to us 1 day a week when we have kick-off meetings. But the question I've got quite recently is, how do you manage an empire? If you've got 3 or 4 companies, how do you manage them? Well, back in the day, I wouldn't have been able to run 3 companies at once. There's no way I'd have been able to do it because the technology, wasn't to par really. Whereas now, there's email, there's text. I mean, I have 2 phones. I have a toy phone here, which is not turned on. But anyway, it's the office phone for here, and I've got blimmin' hell, that's clean. And I've got an office phone for. I've got the VTech one, which I carry around all the time, but I'm thinking maybe swap phones. I've got a phone upstairs which will be for for Tele Solutions Limited. So I don't even need to move locations from. I just need that phone, a desk and a phone for them. So, well, just a phone because I'm not doing much for them. I've opened like a call center or whatever, but that's not the question. I'm deviating from the question here. Use your technology wisely. You know, use communication is key. Make sure you're constantly talking to people. I'm on the phone to Nathaniel all the time, my programmer. We've just designed, well, we're in the midst of designing a new call centre because we've got 2 or 3, but when my sister has moved out of her salon, we're turning that into a phone shop. And then what we're doing is, because we've got 2 phone shops, one in the garden, we're hoping that there'll be a link from the conservatory to the phone shop, so we can put a couple of exchanges down there. We've not really designed it properly yet. It's going to be that we do a lot of work underneath there, so it's guiding engineers underneath there, and hopefully I'll be able to go underneath and take some, well, not take pictures, but hopefully go underneath and do some drilling and all the rest of it. So a bit of electrics work, because we're doing in the cellar, we've got the new where the call centre is. That's just going to be an artificial call centre, but we've got like a couple of servers down there, so that's where Nathaniel will be working all the time. But the new shops need running, and I don't know whether to have the call centre in the conservatory and then, or whether to have a mobile phone shop in there and then have the call centre where the phone shop was, because we've got another phone shop opening anyway, but it's just building another call centre, so it's creating more jobs basically. But it's all the designing of it. But we've also got a call centre that's just a piece of software that anybody can use, and it's great because I'm controlling all the call centres, and I've got a tablet upstairs which I do a lot of stuff on, and we've got a switch that's been designed. It's the switch we've designed is actually on Nathaniel's old smartphone, but I can actually access it, and there's so many settings to that switch. But the thing is, it's not just at the building firm. I'm in the workshop tomorrow because I've got so much things to do. But when I'm not in there and I've got stuff to do, I've got stock to do and all the rest of it, I'm messaging the guys there, look, you know, there's a trailer that needs pulling out. In fact, I've put, well, there's stuff going on the Facebook page, but we've got so much happening actually on the yard itself, which, and we're in, out, everywhere, so, but yeah, you need to look after your empire as well, so communication is key. Another question I get is, do you hate artificial intelligence? No, I don't actually. I think you need to know, you need to be able to learn to control AI. I wouldn't use ChatGPT because it's not been fully trained. Well, it's been trained, but it's not to par, shall we say. ChatGPT is good to learn, it's good to have as a guide, but it's not 100%. There's Google's AI, which, you know, and I use artificial intelligence for pretend and play as well. So artificial intelligence has a whole load. You know, I use chatbots for pretend and play. I use chatbots for work and pretend and play at the same time. I mean, chatbots are very powerful. It's just where they're used. I mean, we've built chatbots ourselves. But hopefully this is why I want to learn assembly, because you can create artificial intelligence just by using any form of programming language. You're just pinging the computer with information, but you know what the computer, you're teaching the computer commands. That's where AI comes in. You're teaching the computer things. I'm trying to think of a prime example. Of where where these sort of AI chats come in handy. Because, you know, the thing with AI, you've got to know how capable it is. I mean, artificial intelligence is so powerful, but a chatbot, you can build your own chatbot. I mean, the older ones are pretty good because you could actually get into the code and all the rest of it. But there's so much. And AI's always been there for as long as there's been computers. I mean, has anyone ever played Pod for the on the BBC Micro? And literally, Pod is literally a classic example of a chatbot. I mean, Pod's only got what I think is about 3 phrases he's got, but you can ask him any question. He'll probably come back with, I can't do this, but, you know, he can probably dance, sing and whatever, but I remember there was some secret things that he could do if you put, like he could do a message. I think he could wave, and he could do happy birthday, but you had to know all the commands. And this is the thing. But I'm going back, a long, long time ago. You know, back into the 90s. But me and my friends, we used to have some great fun with Pod. I think one of the things we used to put in was, can you wee? Can Pod wee? Or can Pod poo? I think we did that once, and the teacher absolutely rocked us for it. But yeah, there's so no, I think people need to know what computers are capable of before they start worrying about them. I mean, yeah. What can you teach kids about how to do pretend and play YouTube? I can't really. Uh, I mean, the way I do things, I mean, I'm in my 30s, but I have autism, and I just do it for entertainment. But I learn through play, and um, I guess if you really want, I mean, I think the thing is like schools are starting to learn. I've actually had it where people have used some of my pretend and play videos for their college work. And I'm like, whoa, this is a pretend and play video. This is for entertainment. You know, which part of education? It's usually the cash machine videos. But I learned from other YouTubers about cash machines. I mean, like, it's great for any company to have a cash machine because when your customers come in, they can take the cash from the machine. No, yeah. But also, your company makes cash that way. But it's what you have. It's because it's a money box, and even though I've got toy money in it, you put in what you get out. That's my phrase. And I can't teach people how to do YouTube. I've said this in countless videos. You've just got to. YouTube isn't really something you can learn unless you want to get paid through YouTube. Excuse me. And then if you want to get paid through YouTube, you've got to learn consistency. You've got to learn your audience. You've got to learn the algorithm. I mean, like radio. If you listen to radio today, how many new songs do you hear? How many? None. You don't hear nothing. You don't hear any new music. Do you want to know why? Because radio is actually dead. Every station plays the same songs. And Ofcom has changed the rules ever so slightly. They keep changing the rules every few years. But do you know which station broke the Ofcom rule of... Because basically, if you play a song, the person next up couldn't play the same song before. But actually, that's now changed in the Ofcom rulebook. Because Ofcom want you to promote that artist into the ground, basically. So they want you to play, if your station plays Adele, they want you to play Adele 3, 4, 5, 6 times in a row, the same song. Like Phil Collins. I'm trying to think. Yeah, so Smooth. But Smooth Radio, I can't remember if it was Smooth or Capital, but one of them, they were the first to break the rule. They were the first to break that rule of playing, because in America, America had done it before the UK, because in America they had this thing where, well, people haven't heard these 3 songs, And of course, we had to do it over here in the UK. Now, I see where it's all coming from. It's coming from the busking. I think radio has stole the idea that the buskers have had for many years. And the buskers are switching it up. They've gone from playing the same 4 songs that they played forever and ever, and they play something new because they know that people have heard it. I mean, it doesn't matter. If I was a busker, people would, walking past, I'd play something new because I wouldn't care if someone heard it or not. I'm just glad that someone has heard it. And that's what buskers need to start doing. If they're not doing it, it's what they need to start doing. Buskers now are promoting new music. You're not promoting, when you're out on the street, you don't want to be promoting what's on the radio.
TikTok. Now. Helen Kinch Middle. You interacted with. Posted a video.
You don't want to be playing so that's how radio works. Now YouTube, the algorithm on YouTube, the reason why it shows you the same videos on your home feed is it because YouTube thinks you haven't seen them yet. So you have to be smart. And Spotify does it, and all these things that have the algorithm. Facebook started doing it. Facebook started giving you posts, like someone's put a post on 4 days before that you've seen, and it will not show you anything different unless you've interacted with it. What the list that we're coming to. I do. If I'm scroll through, seen it, thinking there's going to be something new. If I want to see something new, I've got to use the search bar. Oh no, we mustn't use the search bar. But that's what it's there for. If I told you that the search bar was there to outsmart the algorithm, that's the one thing. If they took the search bar away, what would you listen to? What would you watch? What would you read? People think that the search bar adds to the algorithm. No, it does not. The search bar is actually there for you to find something new. So it outsmarts the algorithm if you keep using the search bar. Do you know, back in the day, way before YouTube, way before Facebook,
Filters. Button. Up. Chat up. Switch. Learn more. Welcome to live. 0 watching. Live. Finish. Button. Alert. Cancel. End. Button.